Carolina Hurricanes 4-3, as with this win, Carolina clinches the Metropolitan Division, and Carolina will be the 1 seed, and the Rangers will be the number 2. And this is what was expected all along. Rangers really made a nice push. Carolina struggled. Rangers had chances, but really specifically the head-to-heads with Carolina at the Garden, Carolina won both of them. And I think, these next 2 games to the Rangers really should be, the main thing should be resting players. I mean, it's tough because you can't sit everybody, but Panarin and Copp did leave this game. Apparently, precautionary, Panarin upper body, Copp lower body, and Andrew Copp had come back from a lower body injury. So that's concerning. But Gallant, who he's tough to trust in his post-game pressers, but he's making it seem like, if this was a playoff game, they'd be in there. But Hedl returned and Copp returned. But it almost makes you feel like they shouldn't have. So the Rangers were in a tough spot because, there's still 3 games left. Technically, the division was still up for grabs, even though all along they insisted, and I believe them, that winning the division was not a top priority. They already secured home ice advantage in the first round. I think the thought of playing Pittsburgh or Washington, who both lost tonight, by the way, is appealing, whichever that team might be. So I think that if they really look at it, it's not a terrible place to be. We said that all along, that the 2 spot is really not much worse than the 1 spot, certainly from a first-round standpoint. I'd argue that the Rangers have the easier matchup than Carolina. It's just more so come round 2. If you play the Hurricanes, Carolina has home ice. But really, it doesn't matter really where this Hurricanes-Rangers series would be because Carolina, to me, is the better team, and they match up very well with the Rangers. The way I see it right now, I think the Rangers can absolutely beat Pittsburgh, Washington, and I don't love their chances versus Carolina. We'll see. A lot can change from now to then. Injuries, of course. It's funny, Carolina's third-string goalie, Kochetkov, who I think this is his 3rd straight win, actually, because Freddie Anderson was out. Ronta was hurt over the weekend. So Kochetkov really did well. Looked pretty good tonight. Shesterkin, he had to face a lot, to be fair. I didn't think the first 2 goals were bad. Goals 3 and 4, I think Igor would like to have them back. So just overall, his play against Carolina leaves a little bit to be desired, to be honest. But again, it's Panarin and Copp getting hurt. You just hate seeing things like that. It changed the whole feel of the game, honestly. Like the first period, it was scoreless. The first period was a pretty normal feeling period. And Vetrano, really, the Ranger power play also was just not good against Carolina again. This reminded me in a lot of ways of that last game. I think the Rangers probably ultimately played better last game against Carolina, and then Carolina really took it to in the second half of that game, where this game, but it was similar because the Rangers, they were trailing. They almost came back, scored a 6-on-5 goal, and both of them down by 2 to cut it to 1, but they still lose. But, the Rangers in the first period, I don't know. I think the Rangers' first period in the last Carolina game was better than this one. Kind of even, maybe an edge to Carolina, I would say, just throughout the game. Vetrano takes a tripping penalty, trips D'Angelo. Rangers kill it off at 7:48, and then Ryan Reeves holds Brady Shea. When you're dealing with Carolina, there's a lot of former Rangers, and they're on the score sheet or penalties. But Reeves holds Brady Shea, and I gotta say, I say it a million times, but I really hope we can get back to full strength, meaning Kakko, meaning Panarin and Copp, forgetting about Tyler Mott. I just don't want to see Ryan Reeves in the lineup. I know he's going to be in there every now and then. I know that, but against a team like Carolina, why? He should not be playing against Carolina. If you want to play him against Washington, fine. I could understand why you'd want to do that. Against a team like Carolina, it just doesn't make sense. It's not like he was not preventing anything from happening. It's not like his presence being there. No, Carolina was just as physical as they would normally be. So I think Reeves is a detriment. So he takes the penalty there. Rangers kill it off. Then Brady Shea hooks Mika Zibanejad. Brady Shea was kind of all over the ice. Very engaged. Way more engaged than he was as a Ranger. He kind of looked like 2017 playoffs Brady Shea. And not for nothing, kind of 2020 bubble, Brady Shea hitting Jesper Fast, kind of knocking him out of that series. But Shea hooks Zibanejad, and those two were going at it a lot in this game. But the Rangers' power play was unsuccessful. They would get 3 straight power plays because at 38 seconds of the second, Jordan Staal holds Jacob Trouba. Power play doesn't get it done. Then at 3:27, Marty Necas trips Barclay Goodrow, unsuccessful. So 3 power plays in very short order, nothing. And around this time is when you find out that Panarin and Copp are both gone. Very strange how the same sort of thing happened in the Islander game, where it was in the third period, so it was a little bit different. The Rangers had already won the game, but Copp and Hedl were both out. So it's just interesting that it's 2 forwards. Obviously, when it's Panarin, it's you really worry. And Panarin looked good in the first period. Panarin was a bright spot. But apparently Vince Mercogliano was saying that he saw that Panarin, that it might have been a back issue, that he was maybe icing or something. There was some attention being paid to his back. They termed it an upper body injury with Copp. Obviously, he had that sort of leg injury, knee issue. And I think that's probably, if I had to guess, is probably maybe a re-aggravation, which isn't what you want to hear. But again, Gallant really downplayed it. So it stays scoreless until 7:05 when I believe Kreider Miller lost his stick. And so that hurt. And Vincent Trocheck scores his 21st goal of the year from Brady Shea and Nino Niederreiter. And so that made it 1-0. Vincent Trocheck very, very prevalent in this game. Then at 13:48, it would be a goal by Jordan Martinook on a shot by former Ranger Derek Stepan. Stepan shoots it. It goes in off Martinook. And so that makes it 2-0 Hurricanes. And then Goodrow kind of tries to get them going. Gets into a fight with Ian Cole. And then the Rangers do score. And it is the 52nd goal of the season for Chris Kreider. Assist to Frank Vetrano. So Kreider, who wins the Stephen McDonald Extra Effort Award tonight, well-deserved. He was the odds-on favorite. A lot of deserving players for that award, but Kreider wins the award, gets his 52nd goal. So that makes things interesting. He's 2 goals away from tying Yager's record with 2 games to go. So even though you do kind of want to go the bubble wrap route, for things like that, it's interesting. But Panarin, he was 4 points away from 100 points. I think that's done now. A player like Panarin, I would be shocked if we see him in the last 2 games. But a guy like Kreider, you might see him. We'll see. So that makes it 2-1. So the Rangers, all right, maybe they have a chance. But then at 18:19, it is a goal by Teuvo Teravainen, 21st of the season from Trocheck and Shea. Another assist for Shea. And that's a goal where, while not easy, I would have liked for Shesterkin to stop it. I thought the Nemeth-Schneider pair struggled. And it's tough when you put Nemeth and Schneider on with the likes of a Ryan Reeves or a Kevin Rooney or a Dryden Hunt. You put the bottom line on with the bottom pair. That's a problem, and it's been a problem. So, where the Rangers had really good forward depth, once Mott went down, now you've had a lot of forward injuries. That depth has really taken a hit. Because it looked like there'd be no Hunt and Reeves in the lineup, and then maybe even Rooney, although I think he's more secure in the lineup, but still, now that's a little bit more problematic, where that fourth line to me is a bit of a detriment. So Carolina makes it 3-1. And then at the end of the period, coincidental minors to Adam Fox and Nino Niederreiter. Things were getting physical between Shea and Zibanejad. And then Niederreiter kind of went at Zibanejad. Fox steps in, so it's 4-on-4. This carries over into the third period, and Sebastian Aho scores his 37th goal of the season at 32 seconds. Thought Igor should have saved this one. Makes it 4-1 Carolina. But the Rangers do fight back. Jacob Trouba at 13-12 scores his 11th goal of the season, which is a career high in goals for Trouba, assisted by Kreider Miller and Mika Zibanejad. And then the Rangers, with the goalie pulled, score, and it's Alexis Lafreniere, who he deserves more playing time. He really does. Lafreniere has been really looking pretty good lately. Scores his 18th goal of the season, assisted by Kreider and Fox with about a minute to go. But the Rangers were unsuccessful in tying the game, and thus Carolina clinches the Metropolitan Division title, and the Rangers will be in second place. Like I said, these next couple games it's going to be a different feel. This Montreal game tomorrow, I would expect, certainly Georgiev will be in there. You're going to see the likes of McKegg, Gauthier, Brodzinski, but how far does it go, right? Do you see a Libor Hayek in on D? Certainly I think you'll see Justin Braun. You'll definitely see Justin Braun. Libor Hayek, I almost wouldn't be shocked if you see him too. So this will be, they're going to view this differently. And they really should be cautious, especially in a game against Montreal. Against Washington, we'll see how things look on that one. That game is going to have meaning for Washington in some form. Washington is still 1 point behind Pittsburgh with the game in hand. And Washington has that game in hand Thursday at the Islanders. So if Washington wins that game, they will control their own destiny to finish in third and play the Rangers. Or if they lose to the Islanders, then Pittsburgh will be the ones that control their destiny. So we'll see how that goes. That's certainly an interesting wrinkle that we'll discuss, I guess, more so after tomorrow's game. But again, Rangers lose. Carolina's problematic. As I've said, this is the team I fear most, and the more I see it, the more I'm convinced of it. And now I just hope that the Rangers stay healthy. And, not for nothing, I think that not that it really matters all that much, although if the Rangers do lose to Montreal, this will be the first time that, and if it's in regulation, it'd be the first time they'd have a 3-game losing streak in regulation this season. That's not a huge deal, more for stat keeping, but I kind of hope that the Rangers, and I think they can, even with a lesser lineup, you can still beat Montreal, but I think the intensity of the game will be really, really, really diminished. So we'll see how it goes in these last 2 games. The key is staying healthy for the New York Rangers as they head into the playoffs.